Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're finishing off our trilogy run utilizing a mono Dex and a mono quick team all together to take on Garps Challenge 10 star against the Navy. So, with this particular team, it obviously has not changed compared to the Whitebeard and the Enoru run, as there are only 6 dual, quick, and Dex units in the game. Now, the big thing that changes, very similar to the Enoru video and the Whitebeard video, is the support. So if you do need to see the supports, go back to the start of the video, quickly hit pause. I should have showed it for a little bit longer. I do apologize, but you will be able to pause it there to check the supports, as some of them are very, very strong, and some of them are actually fairly required. I'll mention that as we go along though. So ideally, if you do need help with supports, chuck a comment down to see if they are required. Otherwise, just follow on with the video to see if that support is really essential. On stage 2, we just want to take out all of the Marines. They all have 6 HP, fairly easy. Take them out over time, and then move on to the next stage against Kobe and Helmeppo. Against Kobe Helmeppo, they are going to turn all recovery orbs into block slots. They have 2 turns of threshold, and they give you 2 turns of hunger. So this is where we can use our Sanji Pudding special to not only remove the threshold, but give us color affinity as well. And with the amazing limit break from Sanji and Pudding and Vivi and Rebecca, we can actually easily remove 2 turns of the hunger without any issues. Even if you don't have them leveled up, level 1 for both of those units will actually remove both of the turns of hunger, which is very, very nice. Once we do take out Kobe and Helmeppo, we can move on to the next stage. Just make sure that you are switching with your Sanji Pudding whenever you can. That way you can guarantee yourself healing. You can guarantee yourself with more healing with Bardo Cavendish and Vivi Rebecca as well. Moving on to the next stage now, we come up against Smoker, Tashigi, and Hina. They are immune to delay. They give us 2 turns of Gloom and 3 turns of Bind respectively to your sockets. And they turn all of your orbs into unfavorable or TND. Then they make TND unfavorable as well, which can be a little bit of a narc. What we're going to do on this particular stage, we can use the special of Kuro and Django to remove the Despair. And with the support of Robin, we can actually remove 2 turns of Bind as well. Robin's going to give us damage reduction. She also gives us a little bit of healing. And then we can use our amazing switch abilities to give us some extra damage output. And make sure that we take out Tashigi first. Tashigi, if you don't take her out on the first turn, will actually give you 1 turn of attack down. I think Hina gives you more bind after the 2nd turn. And Smoker puts up damage reduction after the 3rd turn. So keeping Smoker alive is the easiest way to go. But we do have color affinity against Smoker, so we can take him out fairly easily. After the 1st turn, we're going to start focusing on Hina. Then we can look at Smoker. Just make sure you are using your switch effects, especially your Laffy to get 2 times attack, your 1.5 times orb buff with Bardo Cavendish, as well as the chain multiplier buff with Vivi and Rebecca. Vivi, Rebecca, and Bardo can also give you guys a little bit of healing as well. Bardo Cavendish also provides damage reduction as well, so taking damage on this particular stage is really not that big of a concern. As you can see, we can actually heal back most of the damage that gets inflicted, and if you really want to, you can actually switch into like dual lore captains and get more healing back by hitting perfects. On to the next stage now, we come up against Kizaru. Kizaru is a Dex unit, and he is fully immune to everything. He has a perfect barrier for 2 perfects, and makes it harder to hit perfects, which becomes a little bit of an issue. So what we're going to do here is we're going to switch with Vivi Rebecca to get the chain multiplier buff, and then use their special to give our strikers and our cerebral units a 2 times attack and orb boost. Now this entire team is actually cerebral or striker if you have the right switches, but with Laffy, we don't really care about Laffy not being a fighter or a striker or cerebral, as we don't have color affinity, but ideally you want to switch into Bardo, as Bardo is a striker. If you do not kill Kizaru on this by the 2nd turn, he'll actually give you the remove sound effects buff, but with the sailor ability of Django and Kuro, we can actually remove that. So this stage becomes a lot easier than it needs to be, and what we can actually do here is we can actually stall out the perfect barrier, the harder to hit perfects. With Laffy's switch ability, we can easily get through the barrier to do the damage when we need, but after the 3rd turn, Kizaru will actually give us 3 turns of paralysis on our captains. With the switch ability of Django and Kuro, you can remove 1 turn, and I think we have the support of limited rare recruit Chopper on our Sanji and Pudding, just in case we do actually hit that threshold. On to the next stage, we come up against Fujitora and 3 of his Chicky Babe friends. Fujitora turns into a super type and gives us the debuff that only lets us do 4 taps. So on our Luffy and Law unit, we are going to use the special of our friend and not our captain, as we do have a support on Luffy and Law that we do want to hang on to. We do get a nice chunky 2.5 times orb boost, as well as giving one of the Luffy units a 2 times attack boost, and that way we can just do enough damage to get Fuji just above where he takes a knee. Now, if Fuji takes a knee, he will blow away 2 of your random units for 4 turns, and most of the time it's one of your captains. On the second turn, if he doesn't take a knee, he actually does end of turn damage, which is a lot easier to deal with. And on that second turn, we can switch with Bardo and Cavendish, use the Bardo Cavendish special to give ourselves a 2 times, I think it's a 2.25 times attack boost to our driven units, as well as giving them an orb buff, and that way, even with the 4 taps, we can take out Fuji on that second turn. Now that Fuji's dead, we can focus on taking these chicky babes out. Now, ideally, this is the best place to stall, and with the switch abilities of Vivi, Rebecca, and Sanji and Pudding, we can actually get all of the end of turn damage that we take, or 25% I should say, onto the next turn when we move on to the final stage against Akainu. Now, against Akainu, you do need to be mindful that he will turn into the opposite color to whatever your captain is, very similar to Eneru. So just be mindful what captain you go in as, but with this particular team, we do have both Quick and Dex at our disposal. So as long as you guys move into the final stage as the, honestly, it doesn't even really matter, because you can switch with your characters and get color affinity against both those typings, which works very, very well. These chicky babes, they will run away once you get to the 89 turn cooldown. So take advantage of this if you do need to stall, or if you do need to get a little bit of healing back with the switch abilities of Bardo Cavendish, as well as Vivi Rebecca. The idea here is we really want Vivi Rebecca's special back, and as long as you stall 1 turn on Kizaru, and then take these guys down to the 89 turn cooldown, you'll just have enough cooldown to get your Vivi Rebecca special back. Unless you've limit break keyed them, then you don't even have to worry about stalling on Kizaru. As mentioned earlier in the run too, if you do need more healing, you can hit a couple of perfects on these units, as they do heal themselves every 2 turns, and utilizing double law, as long as you hit a perfect, you can actually get a lot of healing back, utilizing their amazing captain ability. You do sacrifice damage as law, but in turn, you can get quite a bit of healing. So now that we've hit the 89 turn cooldown, the girls are going to run away, and we can move on to the final stage against Akainu. So onto the final stage against Akainu, I would advise being the law variation, as you can use the support of Ace on Vivi Rebecca to give yourself color affinity. Ideally, you want to start your attack with Luffy and Law, so you get the higher orb buff, and with the support of Sengoku, we can actually get a chain buff mechanic as well. Then we can switch into Vivi Rebecca to get a chain multiplier buff, use their special for the 2 times orb boost, and then as long as we have a bunch of quick units, we can do quite a bit of damage to Akainu. And with that chain buff and chain multiplier combo, we can do quite a significant amount of damage and actually take out Akainu on the very first turn. After we take out Akainu, he does have a res mechanic, and with that res mechanic, he comes back with 2 turns of threshold. Got to be careful on Akainu though, because he does have burn, and we can only hit about 4 to 5 perfects, otherwise we will die. But as you can see, with our 4 quick units, we can output enough damage, and then on the next turn when we use our Sanji Pudding special to not only remove the threshold, we can give ourselves color affinity, so when we switch back into Law, we can actually get color affinity with our Law unit. That is very, very important. Make sure you guys are switching into Luffy to get the higher attack multiplier on the first turn, and then switch back into Law to get the 2 times attack to take out Akainu on the res. So there you guys go. That was the final episode of the trilogy of the Dex and Quick team taking on the Garps challenges. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. If you are new to the channel too and you're enjoying the OPTC content, hit that big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lights!